I spent my week in Fort Lauderdale and it was absolutely unreal. He said it better than I could have. I stayed with my friend Joey. If you don't already follow him, I definitely suggest it. He makes fish keeping and fishing videos and he is amazing. Again, hilarious. So while I was on this trip, I was taking just so many videos of what was going on that I didn't really get time to sit there and explain it or narrate it at all whatsoever. And I realized that if I just put together a bunch of these clips with absolutely no explanation, you won't know what's going on. So I'm gonna watch all of my clips with you guys, and I'm gonna tell you what's going on while we do that. So the first day that I got there, we went fishing, and this was not just like fishing here in Canada where I live on the lakes. Like, no, we went fishing in the ocean.
Keep it up, you got it.
Do the hard work. Put them Canadians to work. It blows my mind that you can actually just get in a boat and like get out on the ocean, because like as somebody who didn't grow up around the ocean, I always thought that there were these like massive waves that would just completely destroy your boat, but that's not the case everywhere apparently. Who would have known? Anyways, so Joey and Zach, and if you don't follow him, definitely check him out. Again, he makes a whole bunch of fish keeping and catching videos, and I highly recommend both of their channels. But having no experience, they took us out. We went fishing for the very first time. So I caught a huge fish. I don't know what the fish was called. I have no idea. It was pretty incredible though. And the fact that it had so many colors, and yet these were just feeder fish for like sharks. Not only did we spend our time fishing and I caught this unreal beautiful fish, we also caught a shark.
We were just fishing. Oh no!
On accident the first time, and then it had a hook in it, so we caught it a second time to get the hook out of it.
Oh! Alright, now he's got it. Hold on, back.
Not only though did we just catch the shark, we caught so many fish. Like it was just fish after fish after fish. It was so cool. I've never seen anything like it.
Good job. Get his head up. Keep his head up. Try to keep his head up. Good job. You're doing great. You don't have to reel anymore. You're good. Don't reel. You're good. Once he has his hands on it, you're good. There you go.
I don't remember if it was the next day or the day after, but somewhere in this mix of days, we went to see Blake, and I had never met Blake before. This was somebody that I was meeting for a first time. I had known him online, but that's about it. And so if you don't already know Blake, again, please follow him. He is amazing, and he has a whole bunch of exotic animals. Now, this guy isn't a pet keeper. He has them all for breeding, but they live amazing lives. You can tell how much love and how much time and money he puts into these animals.
Those are the ducks that Joey and I have.
Hi! So we got to go visit him, and I did make a whole entire video about that. But again, I just kind of was taking clips and I didn't really explain it. So here's my little explanation. It wasn't just a few. Like, of course he had a whole bunch of turtles and such, but he just had so much variety of animals at this ranch. So if you want to see more about that, go check out my video. But what I'm making this video about, and what I went to Florida for in the first place, CROC FEST. What is CROC FEST? So CROC FEST is basically a get-together, a donation auction type thing where they are fundraising. Okay, I guess that's the word that I was looking for. It's a fundraiser for crocodile conservation. And we raised, I believe it was somewhere in like the $50,000 mark. Don't quote me on that by any means, but I know we raised a whole lot because I was at the auction and I live streamed the whole thing on TikTok. So go check out my TikTok for things like that. So I'm really glad that I went. I'm really glad that I donated and was a part of that. I think I should start from the beginning because not only did we have CROC FEST that day, we did a couple other fun things too. There's this kid who is a beginner YouTuber, and from the sounds of it, he mostly keeps tortoises, which is great. He's kind of like specializing in that. So he was given, I believe it was 7 redfoot tortoises and 2 sulcatas. Well, I definitely know it was 2 sulcatas. I just don't remember exactly how many redfoots. But he has an entire yard for them. So somebody who was having to move and could no longer care for his animals anymore, he was giving them to this kid.
Oh, hey! Hello! Hi! Oh my goodness.
We should also just take a second to note, this man's property was, like, beyond beautiful.
Y'all got a bath, so we should.
I can't even believe it. I wish I could have a property like that where I live, but I just can't. It's just not tropical enough, but I was obsessed. I would live there in 2 seconds.
Sweethearts.
That one stays, that's mama. That yellowhead stays. And the other male yellowhead stays.
Hi,
So
Tortoise.
take the rest, set for 2. Now,
Oh.
Where are we putting these? Oh, in there. I'm over here going home.
Can we carry one?
Yeah.
Flip some.
So we took all of these tortoises, and I also got given this really cool possum head.
what do you think
It'll
about?
be so funny.
Yeah, I mean, you can rename.
The story behind it is a little bit sad. The dog ate the possum. But the head in itself was really cool. Although I did gift it to Joey because Joey is unreal and he was letting me stay at his place and he's just a great guy. So he also collects cool oddities like that. So I decided to leave it with him and I can always see it when I go and visit him.
Yeah. Hold it.
Show him, Joey Slam.
Come on.
That guy has actually busted out a few
There you
times.
go. All good.
It's part of the game, Andy.
Follow.
Somebody that does work for me.
How do you do this?
Busted that pig. I don't know. Oh no. That was that's one.
Oh, I didn't even see him there.
Yeah.
Beautiful little
Much easier to carry that one.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely.
Cute.
It grew with problems. Is it? It didn't grow right.
But we loaded all of these tortoises in the back of the truck and we were only going a couple houses down. So although typically you wouldn't want to put sulcatas with redfoots, especially in such an enclosed area because it can get a little squishy, we were literally down the street, so we weren't too worried about it.
Got a truck full of tortoises.
I
But
got one over here.
turtles.
What's up? Here. Home. I got place too.
And everything did go fine. We kept an eye on them, of course, from the cab of the truck.
On Monday, right? Around
Yeah.
6:30.
Yeah.
Enjoy your rest of your stay.
Thank you so much. It was nice
And
meeting you.
have a good fight.
Thank you.
So then we unloaded them and brought them all into his backyard. And they have roam of the entire thing year round. This is down in Florida. This is like South Florida. We are actually almost in Homestead by this point. So it stays warm there year round, or at least warm enough for these tortoises to live outside.
We got one. There's one. What are your other there, right? Oh, they're all curious.
Yeah.
We're all trying to see what's going on. Interesting. Okay.
He also had a couple really cute animals. He had a little goat and he had a pig. So we got to say hi to them too.
Hey guys, what are you doing? Hi. Hi, baby.
Gotta get the lock.
Got all the tortoises to their new home. Hopefully they're happy here.
At the end of it, he let us take home 2 tortoises because Emily really wants a tortoise for her shows. Emily does a little reptile queen shows for children or birthday parties, or you know what, even adults. She does like photo shoots and stuff, I think, too, actually.
Make sure you guys check out their channels. I'll have all of their links.
She wanted one of these tortoises for those shows, and because she also loves tortoises, so she wants to have one as a pet. And lucky enough, he let us have 2. Now there was another guy who came over and who comes to help Joey very often, so he was going to take home one of the tortoises as just like payment for all his help. I guess just being nice.
There's no water in my bowl. Más agua, por favor. Just please,
Not
no.
sure.
We didn't have anywhere to put the tortoises when we were heading to Homestead. So, we are friends with the Crutchfields. We called up Vanessa Crutchfield and we said, hey, you're down in Homestead, CROC FEST is in Homestead. Do you mind if we leave our tortoises at your house?
Alright, we got our tortoises. We're just dropping them off at the Crutchfields because we can't take them to CROC FEST with us. Hey, bud.
And I guess she didn't tell Tom that she said yes to us, or even that we asked in general. So we showed up there and poor Tom had no idea what we were doing. He's like, oh, tortoises, are we keeping these? Like, he had no clue. It was hilarious.
Hello. Hi, guys. I assumed Vanessa was gonna let him know.
Yeah. We just threw a bunch of hog plums in there so your turtles are going to get.
Poor guy. He did figure it out. We explained it to him and everything, and they let us put our tortoises in with theirs, and we went back to pick them up later on after CROC FEST.
Thank you. Amazing.
Yeah.
They can feast while they're in here too.
Yeah.
But while we were there, they were in the midst of some chores, so even though we've already been to the place and seen their animals, they let us go for a little tour again. And honestly, they have such beautiful animals there that we just, why wouldn't you want to see them again? You know what I mean? Like, every single time that we get to see these animals, it's a treat.
We had the house painted.
He's making me laugh.
You know, so we put the ladder and all this other stuff up.
Time to come down, I miss you. Otherwise, we're gonna run out of food.
That's what I say.
Oh,
I'm happy you found
that's
the
a
box,
happy
bud.
guy.
Wow. That is beautiful.
Look how happy he is in there. Settling really nice.
And they are making some amazing progress. They got a couple new ones, and just the way that they raise their animals compared to other keepers is very unique, and it works very well, and it just shows how intelligent these animals really are.
Beautiful.
Beautiful
She'd
CROC
get her
monitor.
stomach. She would know not to get the back of the neck, and she'd get into the.
Hey, bud.
Like, they treat them like equals. It's incredible. It really is.
My boy.
If you guys haven't already seen any of their stuff, I mean, there's a bunch of the Crutchfields, but you definitely should follow all of them. Each and every one you will just fall in love with.
His other owner said use forceps because.
See how he took that?
Yeah.
They all know. Every one of them.
But once he knows, like you feed him in there, that's where he gets food. And then once he knows,
So after we did that, we went to CROC FEST. The Crutchfields were also going to CROC FEST, so we did see them there. It was very rainy at this point, unfortunately, so even though I had done my hair, it was a disaster by the time that we got there, and that's totally fine, but you know.
So we were at CROC FEST, but it is unfortunately really rainy.
Pouring rain right now.
So everyone's kind of huddled like over yonder because there's like a covered area, but it's so squishy and there's really not anything to do under there. So we're sucking it up and enjoying the park on our own because why not? It's just rain. Except I stole Emily's coat.
So we toured the place a little bit and we saw all the different animals, which was just incredible.
So here we are at CROC FEST and we're currently just looking at some of the snakes that they have because snakes are obviously kind of our thing.
We love snakes.
Beautiful. That's one of my dream snakes right there.
Good old milk snake. Can't go wrong with a milk
You
snake.
can't go wrong with milk snake and retic and the other retic.
Fair enough.
Beautiful. Look at this giant yellow anaconda. They can get so big. Look at this beautiful crested gecko. She's
African crested gecko. African crested porcupine. We got this.
got a beautiful water monitor. These guys are some of my favorites.
I've been to the alligator outpost before, which is where CROC FEST was held. So I've seen most of these animals, but again, they're beautiful animals and you guys definitely should check them out. There is so many alligators there, like more than you could even count. And this is somewhere that nuisance alligators go. So they have huge ponds that are just full of so many alligators.
Oh, what's this over here? Boxes.
And then we did all sit for the auction. We also met up with our friend Tyler, who works at CROC FEST, Tyler Riffle. Make sure to give him a follow. And he was a little bit disappointed because he was supposed to be the main alligator wrestler that night. But unfortunately, because of the lightning, it was not possible. So instead, he sat beside me for the auction. Hopefully he enjoyed that. I'm not sure. He did take out some little alligators that were just from the day. They have like a little meet and greet, so they have their little mouths taped up so people can learn about them, get to know that they're not so scary with no risk.
Little things.
Gotta put them back home.
He just untaped them and put them back in their ponds, and they do have a lot of alligators. This is an alligator farm, so there's a lot of alligators everywhere.
Huge troll. Out here trolling entire CROC FEST.
We met up with as well. Jacob Fetter was there. Blake from Blake's Exotics was there. Tyler Nolan was there. Gabby and Chris Gillette were there. Like just a lot of people. So we made sure to say hi to as many as we got a chance to. So then we got to go out for dinner with them and their girlfriends, which was amazing. They are wonderful ladies. Before we went home and slept for the night. And so that is everything that we did at CROC FEST. I honestly think that this was amazing. I didn't take too much footage of the gatherings of people, just because it was a little rude. There were so many like groups of people and I hadn't asked all of them for their permission to be on film. So I just didn't want to interfere with that. But I hope that you enjoyed my video and you enjoyed coming to CROC FEST with me. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow my Instagram, and follow my TikTok. Honestly, you don't even realize how much that stuff helps me. So if you guys want to help my dream come true, don't forget, like, subscribe, wherever those buttons are. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time.